You want to go to grad school, so you must watch this video so you can get some tips. Do your research and you remember that this is a you decision. You are more than being in a graduate program. Get ready to study and read like you've never done before. Chase purpose, don't chase money, period. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena Bradshaw. I'm all about using your influence for good. Today I'm coming back to you with another video. It's a SB to PhD video. Yeah, so it's a SB to PhD video, and this is so you want to go to grad school or you want to get your PhD. Which one is it? I don't know, whichever one you tell me. Or things you should know before you decide to go to grad school. I know it is grad season, so people are like, oh my God, I have to start, I have to apply, I have to see, like, I need to know, like, I need some advice. And you know, there's a bunch of advice videos on YouTube, but there's not a bunch of advice videos from SB to PhD on YouTube. So I just wanted to, you know, come and give you guys some tips. So if you're interested in hearing, don't forget to stop what you're doing, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button so you get to keep up with the SB to PhD updates. And also, you know, maybe you like the other side of me too, and then maybe like you can subscribe and we can be friends. Also, don't forget to follow my SB to PhD Instagram for more updates, more, you know, if you're thinking about going to grad school or getting your PhD, follow my Instagram because that's where all the good stuff is. All right, so let's get started. So my number one thing, and this is what you're gonna get from everybody, is grad school is not for everyone. Do not try to make people convince you that grad school is for you if you do not see a future in your career or if you don't want to go to grad school. Now I know for some careers, grad school is like, you know, that's how you make more money. But like, for example, if you're looking to get your PhD, like honestly, it might not be for you if you don't want to do research. Like, don't waste your money. But grad school is not for everybody. So when you're looking at grad school, you need to do your research and you need to remember that this is a you decision. This is not anybody else. Don't let your family tell you anything. Don't let your friends tell you anything. Don't let other people that's in the wherever tell you anything. Grad school is for you. So for example, if you don't want to go to grad school, also it's an expensive decision. So like, you need to have a plan and you need to make sure like this is for you, especially at that point of your life. A lot of people use grad school as a backup plan. I don't recommend, because a lot of times when people use it as a backup plan, they end up, you know, dropping out. They might return later, but grad school is a thing. It's work, it's money, it's time, it's stress. So research the grad school that you want to get into, research the program, research the master's degrees, research the doctor's degrees, also research a bunch of careers and see where you can fit in, see where you see yourself going, and see what you need, because grad school is literally not for everybody and it might not be for you, and that's okay. But you know, you just might want to know that before you get into years of debt. And well, not all the time debt, not all the time, but you know, before you just put yourself through that process. Because next tip is it's expensive, period. Grad school is expensive. Grad school is expensive. My semester is $32,000 a year. So 64 times 4 to 5 to 6 years. Some programs are 2, some programs are 3. Just know it's very, very expensive, and that is just tuition. If you are moving to the state, you need to eat, you need room and board. Even if you have the cheapest expensive, it's still expensive. You have a car, you have metro, you have your apartment, you have to eat, you want to go out, you want to enjoy yourself. Grad school is expensive. So make a plan, but be flexible with that plan. Because you might think, oh, I only need $50,000 a year. No, add $10,000 to that. Yeah. Don't let money deter you away from if you want to go to grad school or not. I know that's opposite of what a lot of people are going to tell you. I know. But that goes to doing your research. Don't go into debt if you're not going to make that money back. But if you do decide you want to go to grad school and this is your option and this is your choice and this is where you want to go, period, don't let money deter you. So obviously, you know, be smart, make a plan, look at all the options, look at how you can pay for school. But a lot of people let money deter them. But I'm going to give you guys a personal story. When I first went to Howard, I had no money had no scholarship and I had no job. Now I'm on a scholarship my second year in a row, and I've had 3 job opportunities because of Howard. So just because I didn't have money, I didn't let it deter me, but God made a way for me. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same. So don't let money deter you, because even though it's expensive, that's just what it is. And a lot of times people don't even pay off their loans anyways. So it's like, honestly, I'm not saying rack up a bunch of loans, because that's not the advice that I'm giving. But what I'm saying is I know stories of people who, you know, funded their first year and their program with loans, but then obviously you connect with the right people and you really try to get funding and they help. Depending on your program, which is important to do your research, and doing your research includes talking to students, looking at their social media, looking at their mission statement, looking at who they are and what professors they have and what connections they have. That's important, because those are the people that are going to help you to get to where you need to be. So that if the outcome is worth more than this money and it's going to give you an experience, education, and opportunity to expand, do it. It's the best option for your future. If you're gonna go to med school, even if you're looking to go to med school, if you're looking to get your Ph.D. in something, and that's the only way that you can become that doctor, you're not gonna go to med school because of money. No, you're gonna take out the loans, and then when you're a doctor and you have the money and you budget properly and stuff like that, you're gonna pay it back. So treat grad school the same way. You're becoming a specialist in your field. And if you do what you have to do and you connect with the right people and you really take pride in your work, the money will come back. So don't chase money, chase purpose, chase your passion, chase your career. And when you do that, the money will come back tenfold and the opportunities will come back tenfold. So if money is your biggest problem, because I know a lot of people, that's our biggest problem. Like, we look up money, I'm scared, you're looking at all these videos, you're like, how am I gonna afford it? How am I gonna afford to live? Let me tell you something. Take a leap of faith. If you believe in God, like I believe in God, and hopefully, not saying hopefully you believe in God, because if you don't, that's your, like, you know, that's you, cool. Thanks for watching this video. But if you believe in God, like, take this from your sister in Christ. Step out on faith and let God lead your steps, and also step out in faith and just know that if God's done it before, he'll do it again. Also step out in faith and know that God blesses us in ways we don't even know, and he uses people as vessels. And sometimes you might not get a blessing like, oh my God, here's $40,000, but you might get an opportunity which will lead you to get the blessing. Or you might have to take out loans, and then student forgiveness, debt will come and wipe off all your loans. So again, nothing's too impossible for God. So you don't let money deter you away from your dreams. And I hope that people that were scared because of money, they really see this video, and I hope that it helps you chase your dreams. Chase purpose, don't chase money, period. And that's all I'm gonna say to that. Be on that, but I'm just gonna be honest. When you're in school, it's a lot on your mental. Usually you could be away from home. If you're not away from home, you're at home, you're an adult, you're trying to do school, you're trying to balance work, you're trying to balance your personal life. Things happen, you know, you might have a breakup, your car might be effed up. All these things happen. So it's usually not school that's the problem. It's your personal life is the problem. It's you have to do all these things to maintain your good grades and to maintain your scholarship and maintain all these things. And then on top of that, you still have to be you, and you still have to learn yourself. So I feel like that is the hardest part, and that's what people don't tell you, is that for me, my first year at school was easy peasy lemon squeezy. What the problem was is who I was as a person. My trauma, my childhood problems came creeping in, especially when you're alone. That's all you have is your thoughts. Yeah, so that is the advice that I can give you, is that it's gonna be everything else. Your school is gonna be a big problem, don't get me wrong, but your personal life, it's just like when you are on a grind, your personal life kicks it up a notch, and it does something. So just know that you can never plan how your grad school experience is gonna be. The only thing you can take charge of is studying and your schoolwork and your connections. Everything else, baby, girl or boy, it's unexplainable, unplainable. The next thing I want to say is resources, resources, resources. People help who help themselves. So if you're helping yourself, again, this is about the money, this is about the opportunities, it's just about grad school in general. People are gonna help who help themselves. So resources. Make sure that you're paying attention to the emails that professors are sending out. When you get accepted, or even if you're not accepted yet and you're just looking at their website or you're emailing professors, ask them about the resources, financial opportunities. Ask the students what type of financial assistantships and fellowships that they're doing. Also ask them what type of professional development they're doing. Ask them how's the culture, how's the networking, and then on top of that, also be Googling stuff for yourself. So if you know you're a minority woman and you're going into STEM and you're going into grad school, or if you know you're going into psychology, there's a bunch of scholarships, not a bunch, but there's scholarships for that. If you're in professional organizations, there's scholarships for that. If you want to do stuff, there's everything for everything. If you want to be, you have to look that stuff up for yourself first, and then when you look it up and you come to people and you ask them, hey, I heard about this opportunity. Like if you go to somebody and say, hey, I need an opportunity, they might help you, of course. But if you say, hey, I know that this program offers this, and this, and how do I get this, and this, and how do I connect with this person and get this, and this, then you're more likely to get help, because it's like you don't have to do all the he say, she say. Like, I know that y'all got this, so what else do y'all have? And I also know that this person does this, so how is their contact, and how can I get in contact with them, and how can you help me? Obviously, ask in a nicer way, duh, but these are just things like you need to be more direct. You take charge of your life in grad school, so don't look for a handout. You need to help yourself. But then when you help yourself, just abundance will come, resources will come. Check those emails, all those spam emails that you think, they come with opportunities. There has been so many job opportunities in my emails. I've applied for 4, I've gotten like 3 because I check my professor's emails. And even if your professor's not sending emails, if you go to office hours, they're getting millions of emails with opportunities, with students for hire, students opportunity, student internship, if they know what you're looking for, they can vouch for you if they care enough. Again, that's how you got to research your program. My program has people that do that. And then another thing is like, obviously help yourself. If someone knows, be vulnerable, tell your story to, trusted professionals, and they can help you. So that's what I give the advice, is that resources, help yourself. Not only with monetary things, but just like follow up, email, all of that is very important. Don't just let life pass you by. Like, just like actually live in the moment and take all the opportunities. And when you help yourself, you will be helped. Next thing I'm gonna say is that mentorship is important, but it is not needed. Everybody does need mentorship, but if you don't have a direct mentor in your first year, do not feel bad. If you don't have a mentor that's guiding you and telling you what to do, do not feel bad. If you're first generation and you don't have help and nobody in your family looks like you and is going to school, don't feel bad. You just got to do it by yourself. But then remember that if you don't have mentorship, you should mentor somebody else, just because community is everything. And then eventually, even if you don't have mentorship, you should seek mentorship in a genuine, honest way. And you should try to connect with someone that's in your program, someone that, a professor, or someone even in your field. And they should, hopefully, if you guys build a genuine connection, you can get help. But if you don't have a mentor off bat, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're going to be left alone. We have YouTube, we have Google. Hey, hit me up. I'll be your mentor-ish. I'm not committing to mentorship, but I am committing to helping people. There's so many resources. Again, help yourself, and then the right people will align to you. So I know that's also a big thing. Like, who's going to help me? Help yourself. And then when you help yourself, it comes to you. And that's the advice I have to give. I didn't have a mentor. Another thing is community is everything. When you're in these programs, I know some of them are just like, if they're online or if they're in grad school, like you're gonna be like, okay, I can do this by myself. You can do it by yourself too, but community is just better, because grad school is a different ball game. Ph.D. is a different ball game. All these things are different ball games. So, it's a lot of work. So if you have community, it's just gonna make it easier. It's gonna make it fun. It's gonna make it a more experience, especially if you're moving away. If you're moving far, far away, you want that experience, you want that cohort, you want friends, you want professional colleagues in the future. So just remember that, and just try your best and try your hardest to, have those experiences. And just build community. Even if it's not in your program, like build community outside of your program, build community amongst your friends, your family, because you're gonna need some people to lean on and support. Because let me tell you, like I said, when you're in grad school, things just be hitting you. And you just be like, oh my God, like what's happening? But yeah, you need that support system that understands what you're going through, even if they're not going through the same thing. Someone that cares, people that support you, people that tell you to keep going when you want to give up. You need that. So just remember to try to build that. And if you have that, hold it and keep it close, because when you want to give up, you need somebody to tell you, like, don't give up. You got this. Another thing I want to say is be intentional about everything, period. Just be intentional. Be intentional about your moves. Be intentional about the people you meet. Be intentional about how you put yourself off. Be intentional about who you want to be. Be intentional about your self-care. Be intentional about your fun. Be intentional about your schoolwork. Be intentional. And intentional doesn't mean that you know everything, but intentional means that you think a lot of things through and you are making steps to where you want to be. So my program is 5 years, so I'm intentional with my externship placements, my internship placements, my mentorship, and I value and I look for opportunities that align with where I want to be or where I think I want to be. And yeah, that's intentionality. And just thinking about how I want to be as a professional even 40 years from now. Intentionality. So remember that when you're doing clinical experience, remember that when you're picking classwork, remember that when you're, just doing life, just be intentional. So another thing I want to say is that it's an experience, it's not just school. So I feel like when people go to grad school, they're like, I'm grown, I'm gonna be in and out. That's cool, some people do that, but for me, my advice to you is just to live it up a little bit more. Remember that even though that, well, if you're an adult, this advice is kind of, not to you, because when I say adult, like I'm an adult too, but like with a family and kids. But if you're kind of like young and like, or if you're still in your if you have no responsibilities, basically, let's just say that if you have nothing holding you down. Responsibilities means that you might have a job or something like that, but if you have nothing tying you down, like a husband or a fiance or kids, which are the things that tie you down, not in a bad way, then you should really use this opportunity to grow and use it as an experience and get to meet new people if you can, and just get to know what your campus offers. They offer so many resources outside of that. You're still paying for that. So, use it as an opportunity and experience things and help yourself grow and develop. And because grad school is not just about, learning, it's about learning who you are as a person, having fun, experiencing things, and just doing it big and better. So another tip that I give is that grades matter, but they are not everything. The reason being is because most of the programs that we're in require you to keep up a certain grade point average to stay in your program. And I'm hoping that you would do that, right? So with that being said, if you're used to being a straight A student and you get straight B's, why do you care? You're still gonna pass. If you're used to getting a straight A student and you get one B instead of all A's, why care? You're still gonna pass. Now, again, when I say that, grades do matter technically because you can't get C's, but you shouldn't be so stickler about getting straight A's. I mean, we're perfectionists, we wanna have this, we wanna have that. Don't be a stickler for that. Just, enjoy and just do your grades, do your best, and it'll all work out in the end. Don't stress yourself out. Stress yourself out, care about school, but if you don't get 100% on every exam, it's okay. You have another test tomorrow. So another thing I want to tell you guys about, being in grad school or being a doctoral student is that you're gonna have to, depending on your program, you're gonna have to have an internship or an externship. You're gonna have a dissertation if you're doing research-based, and you're gonna have, research projects if you're doing research-based. With that being said, just be prepared. Again, you can never be prepared until you're in it, but you just want to make sure to look up your school's requirements and know what type of emphasis they're doing. Are they doing field experience? Are they doing research experience? Are they doing a combination of both? And know what you're gonna do, and know the types of places and situations you're gonna do. And just know that if you want to be in a PhD program, it's research. So don't act like you're not gonna do research, because yeah. Another tip I want to give is schedule. You need a schedule. Get a schedule. Start your schedule now. Don't wait until grad school. Start your schedule now. Plan now. Be flexible, of course, but you just need a schedule. Schedule, because you're going to be so busy, and it's going to be some of the busiest times of your life. But for me, I was very busy, but I was also very relaxed because I had a schedule which started at 5:30 a.m. or 6. So just remember, take time for yourself, take time for self-care, but also that homework and stuff is crazy, but you also need to eat. but you also want to go out with friends, but you also have externship, but you also have practicum, but you also have this, but you also have that. So make sure you have a schedule, and make sure you know how to work your schedule, and make sure that you're disciplined enough to follow your schedule so that you aren't as, but as stressed out. Get ready to study and read like you've never done before in graduate school. That's what I'm gonna tell you now. You're gonna read a lot. You're gonna study a lot. You might even study harder than what you did in undergrad or years ago or in your master's program. Be ready. That's all I can say. I did not read. I read as much, but I was used to it because my majors in undergrad really prepared me for it. But you know, reading 40 pages every other day for 5 classes is different than reading 40 pages for 1 class, you know? So you're gonna read a lot, you're gonna write a lot. 10-page papers, go to 20-page papers, go to 30-page papers, go to your dissertation. But just know that it's all worth it, and it really does help you become a scholar. Your application is everything. Make sure you look good on application so that you can get to, you know, where you want to be, which is grad school, your doctoral program. Make sure that you start early. Prepare your letters of recommendation. Prepare your writing sample that you might have to do. A lot of people don't tell you about that writing sample, that you might have to have a writing sample. Prepare for the interview. Prepare for your personal statement, your curriculum vitae. And then also for me, what I want to give you guys is also have something personal that other people don't do. So when you're in an interview, have, you know, things that you pass out to let people remember you and stuff like that. That's really leaves a first impression. Always email, prepare to do the most in your application and your interview so that you can get accepted and so that you can get offered more things. And last but not least, is that imposter syndrome will happen, but you have to choose whether you're gonna go into your imposter syndrome or not. So even if imposter syndrome is happening, you might not even be knowing that it's happening, and imposter syndrome is just thinking that you don't belong. But at the end of the day, we choose our thoughts, and you take up space. So remember that if you are able to, you know, get to the point of your life that you are now, you're able to go to the next step. And even if it doesn't happen when you want, that doesn't mean that you're incompetent. It just means that something better is in place. So again, if you have imposter syndrome, choose your thoughts, choose your reality, and realize that you take up space and that you belong in the space that you're taking up, and the space that you're not in yet, that everything that you're doing is lining yourself up to be that person and take up space in rooms that you haven't even seen before. Don't be scared. You are gonna be scared though. But at the end of the day, remember that you are more than being in a graduate program or a doctoral program, and that we all get nervous and we all have it. So just remember that you're not alone, and it's a beautiful thing to be in these programs, but it is not everything. So even if you're feeling down, that community, these videos, just remember that you have a friend and you should have a support system. And if you don't, you can always hit me up. But yeah, it's real, but choose how real it is for you. But all right guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these SB to PhD tips on what I wish I knew for grad school, or what you should know for grad school, does help you out. And if you guys have any questions, remember you guys can, you know, comment down below on my YouTube, or also you can look at my SB to PhD page on my Instagram, and you can find out more tips, follow my journey. And I'm in my 2nd year of my doctoral program at the Howard University. So you already know, all opinions are my own, doesn't represent Howard. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you guys for supporting. I'm gonna see you later.
With another one.